This Sherman tank was raised from the seabed of the county I'm in and stands in memory of a Second World War training exercise that ended in disaster. Find out what happened and where I am in just a few moments. On today's show, we're helping a couple of lifelong suburbanites up sticks to the country. At one property, it's all about the view.
You wouldn't want to watch TV, would you?
No.
And there's a big surprise at another.
We've stayed here.
You stayed here.
You joking? Today I'm in South Devon and this is Slapton Sands, which was used by the Allied forces to rehearse for the D-Day landings on the Normandy beaches. Codenamed Exercise Tiger, this top-secret rehearsal ended in tragedy when a US convoy was torpedoed by German E-boats, and the death toll amounted to over 900 servicemen. Today, their memory is preserved here, as is this area, as it's also home to a national nature reserve. And I'll be finding out more about this unique coastline later on in the show. But first, let's take a look at some of Devon's other natural highlights. Desirability is reflected in just how much it costs to buy a home here, with the average price for a detached house in the county coming in at around £288,000, some £30,000 above the national figure. Now, the South Hams district is the most expensive in the county. In seaside towns like Salcombe and Dartmouth, you can expect to pay almost double the national figure for a property. But if you head west towards Plymouth or inland towards Dartmoor, you'll be rewarded by getting much more property for your budget. So, what's attracting today's buyers to Devon? Let's meet them and find out. Darren and Tracy have been married for 25 years, and for the last decade they've lived in Farnham Common in Buckinghamshire, just outside London's M25. But with their grown-up children about to leave home, it's time to make the break.
We have enjoyed living here. The community is really nice. We've a good set of friends and we're local to the shops, but it's just becoming more compact with traffic.
Despite the changes in the neighbourhood, they still have fond memories of the area.
Met in a disco called Regals in Uxbridge.
Which was a main nightclub on a Thursday night. It was girls' night. But then I sort of had a break and went travelling for a bit and then came back and we sort of hooked up again, didn't we? And then...
At Regals again?
Yes. And then decided to get married.
4 years ago, they holidayed in South Devon, and it was love at first sight.
We just like everything about it. It's the pubs, it's the open fields, the woods. It's because we got a dog, we like walking, and the idea would be to get another dog.
Just having some space, really, around you without too many neighbours would be really nice.
Darren runs a glazing company and Tracy is a product development manager, a job she can do from home. But after the move, work will take more of a back seat.
Built the construction company up I've got. It can operate without me being there full time.
I think the move's going to make us a bit more, or you more relaxed.
Yeah,
the last couple of years for your work has been quite stressful, and it would just sort of give you the opportunity, won't it, to pursue some areas that you've been looking to do for quite a few years.
Yeah, it's enjoy life, really, you know. Work to live, not live to work, really. There's that saying, isn't there?
And with more time on his hands, keen biker Darren will be able to enjoy everything coastal Devon has to offer.
The move down there would get me more into the sports I love, which is scuba diving. And I know walking's not so much a sport, but, you know, walking, it's everything there, really. It's just for me, and I really would like to get into sailing.
And when it's not sailing the seas, Darren will be hitting Devon's roads with his other pride and joy.
I've got a Triumph Stag. I've had it over a year now. I've had a bit of work done on it, and it'd just be great to go around the countryside in a Triumph Stag.
While Darren's away, Tracy will keep the home fires burning.
It's going to be very important to me to have a good kitchen because I spend a lot of time in it, currently anyway, with the family. I do a lot of cooking and baking. I'm into growing vegetables. I do lots of gardening, grow my own flowers and seeds, etc. And I really would like to sort of look at having some chickens. So that is my next plan, really, is to get some space where I can put some hens and chickens in.
All that's left is to find out how much money is financing this move to the South Devon countryside.
The budget for the move is £600,000.
Darren and Tracy have holidayed in the South Hams area of the county and would like us to concentrate our property search there. I've come to meet them on Devonian soil to go over the specifics of the house. Well, welcome both of you to beautiful South Devon. Now, I know you've been here many times before, haven't you?
Yes,
We
yeah.
have.
Popular holiday destination.
Definitely, yes.
So why now are you choosing to relocate full-time?
Well, our family have all grown up. We're now more comfortable, I suppose, in money-wise, and we can do that in our time of life, really.
Let's talk about the house. Open plan downstairs?
Yeah, definitely.
It's a nice big kitchen.
Kitchen diner.
Yeah.
More room, perhaps, downstairs than upstairs, because that's where we predominantly are.
Yeah, OK, that makes sense.
We need to have an office space, because Darren obviously has his business and I work from home, so I'd like to be able to have a room that I can switch off from.
That could be, I mean, that could be one of the bedrooms, though,
Yeah,
could it not?
it could be.
Yeah, it could be.
Because that could turn into a guest room, perhaps, afterwards.
How many bedrooms as bedrooms do you need?
At least 3.
3, we'd like
yeah,
3.
3.
So you're looking then for a 3 to 4 bedroom house, or, you know, a house with 2 to 3 receptions downstairs.
Yes, yeah.
And 3 bedrooms upstairs.
I don't mind doing, like, the bed and breakfast type scenario or the guest house scenario.
OK.
Yeah, if we were lucky to have something that had perhaps a small annex or something that we could rent out for holiday
Well, that's worth
rentals.
thinking about.
Definitely.
Should I be looking out for any big no-nos, then?
A detached we'd like, not a semi or terraced.
You'd like, or...
I think no,
It's
it's
got
got
to
to
be
be
detached,
detached.
really.
Yeah, detached. Yeah.
Really has.
So, finally, price. What's the final budget?
600,000.
£600,000.
Yeah.
Which is a good amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we want quite a lot from the property itself,
Yes,
but
yeah.
we should have a good go at this, shouldn't we?
Good.
Hopefully, I think so, yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's get started. Just this way.
Great.
For a budget of £600,000, Darren and Tracy want a detached property with lots of light and space. It must have 3 to 4 bedrooms with enough room downstairs to entertain. Tracy would like a large garden to grow vegetables and keep chickens, whilst Darren needs a garage or workshop for his classic car. And location-wise, they'd like to be close to the coast. We've lined up 3 charming properties here in South Devon to show them, and at each one, I'll be asking them to guess the price at the end. The last is our mystery house, which could give our couple lots of options for work and play. So, Tracy, talk me through this idea of running some kind of B&B.
Yeah.
Is this a long-held dream of yours?
Yeah, it has been actually,
Yeah,
hasn't it?
yeah,
For
yeah.
quite a few years we've talked about that, and I like to entertain, and I like to organise things. So
Perfect. I mean, you're both quite social people, aren't you?
yeah, we
Yeah.
do. We entertain quite a lot, and friends and come over, don't they?
Yes.
And we've had sort of holiday home before, so I'd sort of rented that out and got that all ready for the guests, etc. So I think I'm quite interested to do that.
For our first property, we're heading to the hamlet of Goveton, not far from the South Devon coastline. It's within 2 miles of the market town of Kingsbridge, which is situated at the northern end of the estuary that takes its name. Its proximity to the sea has seen Kingsbridge develop into a popular tourist destination, and it has a varied selection of shops and cafes. Just a 10-minute drive away, you're well into the countryside, and you'll find our first house. So, here we are at property number 1.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
What do you think how it looks? It's not your uber modern.
No. The stonework's a bit different for me, I think,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah. I'm not quite sure. Bit dark.
It does seem very dark.
Yeah.
Rural location, rural enough for
Yes.
you?
Yeah, oh, yeah, definitely,
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
First impressions, you sound...
Reserved.
You sound reserved. OK. Let's see what you
Yeah,
think of
yeah,
the interior. Follow me.
Absolutely. Okay.
Our first property was built in the early 1990s, and although the stonework might not be to Darren and Tracy's liking, I'm sure the light and spacious interior will lift their spirits. So, start off with, you've got a separate living room just through there.
Okay.
I mean, this is the most important kitchen for you,
Yeah,
isn't it, Tracy? So let's see what you
actually,
think.
this is very nice. I like this.
Yeah, this is nice.
This
yeah,
is a
very
sort of
nice.
planning that I like.
Well, when you said, actually, this is very nice,
Yeah.
that tells a story in itself. You weren't expecting to see this.
No,
wide
I wasn't,
open
because
space.
from the front it looks quite small, compact.
Yeah.
But it's nice and light.
Now, off this room, you've got lots of what you said you wanted. Your separate utility through there.
Yeah, okay.
Office through there.
Wow, yeah.
But what they've done here is opened it all out. There was a corridor running across here to that office. So they've got rid of one wall, which gives us this space for a nice big kitchen. But they've also opened up the room this way, so let's take a better look.
Sure.
There's a lot more space, isn't there?
Very nice.
It is nice. Plenty of light coming through the windows here as well, isn't it?
Definitely.
But you've got so many other places to spill out into. You've got a conservatory through there, just tucked away.
Yeah.
French doors to open out into in the summer. It's...
Good decking.
And don't forget you've got that other separate reception room at the front of the house.
Yeah.
Let's look upstairs, shall we?
OK.
Sure.
A much better reaction to the inside of our first property. But I'm still not sure it's really grabbing Darren and Tracy, even though on paper it gives them everything they've asked for. Upstairs there are 4 good-sized bedrooms, all serviced by a family bathroom. 2 of the bedrooms overlook the front of the house. Another is dual aspect, and then finally the largest. Let's take a quick peek into the master.
Okay.
That's a nice size.
Yeah, it's a great size.
This master, I think it's, you know, it's
Perfect.
triple aspect, and you've got an ensuite as well.
Oh, even better.
Yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you didn't say you wanted an ensuite, but...
Well, actually, we didn't say, but we do. Sorry.
Is that a rod going at my end back there?
We do want an ensuite, yeah.
You said you wanted minimum 3
Yeah.
and an
Yeah,
office.
yeah.
You've got 4 beds and an office here.
Yeah.
That's good. A lot more room than I thought.
So our first property certainly gives Darren and Tracy the space they're after and more. But Tracy also wanted a large garden to grow vegetables and keep chickens. So I'm hoping it's up to scratch. So you've got a really nice raised terrace and decking area. You can pretty much chase the sun around the house.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Now, big double garage there for you.
No, I like the garden.
Yeah, it is.
Some fruit trees.
Yeah. So, how much do you think a house like this, or maybe this house exactly, is on the market for?
565.
565, you're saying?
Yes.
OK.
Yeah.
Darren?
I think it's lower than that. I think it's 545. Obviously, I'm going to be wrong.
We'll be crashing down to earth with a bump, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
This place is on the market for offers around £625,000.
Really?
Yeah, it's...
No, I wouldn't have thought that.
I mean, speaking to one of the owners, he says they would be prepared to consider offers around your budget, but that's still priced a lot more than you've put it at.
Yeah, it's right,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
definitely. That's kind of a bit of a shock.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised. It
Yeah.
must be the location.
It's got to be the location.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you go back in the house? Have a look at the
Okay.
areas you haven't seen, the other bedrooms, the utility and what have you.
Yeah.
And I'll meet you out the front, well, whenever you're ready.
OK,
OK,
thank
all
you.
right, thank you.
See you in a moment. Well, that price reveal wasn't great news for them. I think, I think coming down to Devon might be a bit of a shock to the system. I mean, this house, technically, it fulfills pretty much all of their shopping list. Style-wise, I'm starting to get to know what they want. And I'm not sure this is it. On the market for £625,000, our first property is over budget, but the owners are willing to accept a lower offer. It's a modern, spacious family home set in a peaceful rural setting close to the sea. It comes with a large eating kitchen and living area, and there are 4 good-sized bedrooms. The garden is laid to lawn, and it has its own mini apple orchard.
It's a bit of a relief when I walked in. The rooms were a lot lighter and bigger than you would have seen from outside. It was more to my liking, I must admit.
The downstairs size is perfect, really. The front room, there's only going to be 2 of us most of the time. There's lots of opportunity in the garden. There's some fruit trees I can work with, and there's some space with a greenhouse, which is great, and lots of little nooks and crannies, so we'll be able to fit some vegetable plots in and perhaps some chickens, hopefully.
So, all done inside and out?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right, well, that's property number 1 down. On to the next one.
OK.
Lovely.
Away from the coast, South Devon's moorland and rivers have shaped its industrial past. During the 19th century, the town of Buckfastleigh was a centre of textile production, and a railway line was built to transport freight along the River Dart towards Totnes. Part of the track was closed in the 1960s, but a 7-mile stretch has been revived by committed locals and is now run as the South Devon Railway. It's an appealing way to explore the region's inland heritage and landscape. First stop for Darren and Tracy, the Railways Museum at Buckfastleigh Station. They're meeting historian John Brodrib.
Welcome along to the South Devon Railway.
Thank you.
The railway itself, and what is now the South Devon, it first opened in 1872, 1st of May 1872, and it actually opened on the broad gauge. Now, the broad gauge isn't about Kingdom Brunel's 7-foot-and-a-quarter-inch gauge, it's the distance between the rails, was unusual because it was used in this part of the country, but actually not very much elsewhere.
Is the broad gauge still in use today?
No, it isn't. We run on the standard gauge. What happened was that the Great Western Railway in 1892 changed the gauge in a single weekend.
So, John, after the broad gauge was changed, did that affect the line and the running?
It would have probably been slightly better, in fact, because it was then easier for goods to reach other parts of the country without the break of gauge, which had meant that you had to manually shift goods from one train to another where the gauge changed.
Despite the gauge change, the line was never really profitable until it started running as a heritage railway, and today it carries over 100,000 passengers every year. Chairman of the railway company, John Haslam, is taking Darren and Tracy on a short trip to Staverton Station to try their hand at operating one of the line's 3 mechanical signal boxes.
Right, here we are. This is Bishopsbridge signal box. Now, massive great row of levers. The red ones are signals. All the points are set up correctly, so all we are doing today is we are clearing the signals to allow the passage of the train. There's a train coming. As if by magic. Turn the buzzer off. Right, one of you. Press the plunger marked 37.
A system of wires and rods links the lever to the trackside signal. A pull on the lever clears the signal and the train can pass.
Tracy will let you pull the next one, which will be 35.
Today, railway signalling is operated by electrical and hydraulic mechanisms. But the old lever system does require some elbow grease.
It's quite hard at the end, isn't it?
Now that Darren and Tracy have tried their hand at signal operating, it's time to make tracks and get back to the house hunt. For our second option, we're heading 22 miles west towards Plymouth to the coastal hamlet of Haybrook Bay. The closest amenities are a mile away in Down Thomas, which is a village shop, an historic pub dating to the 14th century, and a small post office. Just a 2-minute drive away, our second property with its magnificent sea views awaits. I'm hoping for at least one of us, the first impressions are going to be pretty good from this angle.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
Very unusual, yeah.
Yeah,
I've never ever looked at something like this.
I know, but it's very nice, yeah. It's not something I thought I'd like, but it's very, very nice.
Well, it suits, I think, the vicinity, the location.
It does.
Yeah, I mean, from first thing in the morning, this house has light beaming into all of this side of the house, but also, as you can quite imagine,
Well,
behind there, and reason why it's raised,
yeah.
you get amazing sea views. Now, you're grinning.
I know, I can't see. I'm surprised in myself. I'm surprised.
You're a cup of tea normally anyway.
I know. It is. I do like it.
What does Tracy think?
I do. I'm looking forward to going in.
OK, let's go inside.
OK.
I thought our second property, built in the 1960s, would have appealed more to Tracy, but the smile on Darren's face says it all. Now, do you want to pause briefly here? You heard funny ping-pongs and explain why we've got things like that. It's because this house is currently let out as a holiday apartment or holiday home. What we've got here is, as you can see, a games room, but also on this level you've got, well, a small kitchen, currently used as a utility, and a living room and a shower and loo.
Ah, I
so
see.
you could, if you wanted to, self-contain this, even as it is, and that could maybe, or be less accommodation. But I think you might want the extra space on the ground floor anyway as we walk around.
Okay.
Now, upwards to the living accommodation. Can I just squeeze through there?
Sure.
This ground floor area could be converted to bed and breakfast accommodation or storage for Darren's sporting equipment, because the real selling point of this property is just upstairs. So, let's see what you think of what I think is a very impressive room.
I do like this, yeah.
Look at that view.
Oh, you can see the waters.
Fantastic, yeah.
Coastal path.
You wouldn't want to watch TV, would you?
No.
Well, it's the antithesis of the first house, isn't it?
Wow. Yeah, totally the opposite, isn't it? Yeah, I do. I mean, like, it's nice to watch everybody. You just people watch.
This is great. Really is
Sunday.
great. I just want to see some more, really.
Well, let's do that. Come on. Kitchen just through here. So, good size.
Good size.
Come right in.
Compared to the one that we saw last, that's
Yeah.
my ideal kitchen diner, really. That's
Okay. I don't think
it's
this
a
is.
modern
I don't
house.
think it would be a big waste if you started again in here.
No.
I don't think so. No, that's like I say. Yeah, it's got the size,
Yeah.
so you could change this quite easily.
So you can see through it. It's
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
definitely.
just cosmetic.
good enough space.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see what you think of the rest of the house. Let me just squeeze
Okay.
through. Thank you very much. The kitchen also leads onto a small conservatory at the back of the property. Also on this floor, a large family bathroom with twin jacuzzi, 2 double bedrooms, both with views over the bay, and a dining room with stairs up to the 2nd floor. So we might be fighting over who gets this space.
Yeah.
Desk each.
That's handy, actually, having
Views
two
are
desks.
fantastic. You've got windows as well.
I would say you might want to use this as a walk-in wardrobe, but
True.
you've got plenty. No, you've got plenty of space through here. Check this out.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Oh,
Very nice.
views again.
So, this is the wardrobe space.
Loads of storage space, and of course,
Oh,
you've
look
got
at this.
an ensuite. Oh.
Oh, great.
Very, very nice.
Well, the interior tour of our second property couldn't have gone any better, but there's still the outside space to see. Tracy wanted a large garden for her vegetables, and Darren a garage for his classic car. And I fear that's where we might come a cropper. The rear garden is terraced, with steps leading to a decked viewing platform and a summer house offering some breathtaking views. Well, you'll be pleased to hear it's worth the climb.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is indeed.
Can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but that's your flat bit of garden.
Right, yeah, I was just looking over there, and they've obviously got their vegetables and things
Yes.
there, so if you were going to do anything, it would have to be here.
Yeah.
All in and around a quarter of an acre.
Right.
Just lots of different levels.
Levels, yeah.
But there's no garage
No.
here at the moment, and that might involve more than just digging out.
Yeah.
It'll involve engineering. So,
The price.
the price.
We made a boob on the last one.
Well,
I'm thinking about 575.
And I'm going to say 600,000.
your guess is much better. It's on the market for £580,000.
Yeah.
And it started life at £600,000. So,
Okay.
you're back on the money. Don't be too led by the configuration at the moment. It might take you some time,
Yeah.
but that's all we're going to do today, so take as much time as you want, because I will be lapping in this view.
Okay,
Lovely.
then.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Catch you later on. On the market for £580,000, our second property is £20,000 under budget. It's a modern lodge-style house built on 3 levels. The accommodation includes a large reception room with glass doors out onto a wraparound balcony. It has 4 bedrooms, including the ground floor room as well as a study. And the garden is terraced with fantastic views out to sea.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Jacuzzi.
Jacuzzi bath.
Oh, wow. That's unusual.
For 2.
No, thanks. This was a very different house and a concept that we've ever looked at before, so it's quite a surprise. The views are spectacular, so we knew when we saw the house that we were going to see something really good from inside the house. The garden where the terracing is at the moment is quite difficult for me to actually sort of visualise, but I'm sure it can be worked on.
There's definitely enough living space, and even downstairs, you know, that's a great games room. I really do like the house, but I've got to try to persuade Tracy, I think. So that'll be my job tonight.
So, all done inside and out.
Yes.
Did you find anywhere for your hens?
At the very, very top, as long as I don't escape into next door.
Well, that could be a negotiating point for you,
could be.
Darren. But I do feel this might have split the camp, but that's something to talk about tonight.
OK.
Time to go back.
That's great.
It's day 2 of our property search, and Darren and Tracy from near Slough to the west of London have a budget of £600,000 to spend on their Devonian dream. Coming up, there's a big surprise at the Mystery House.
4 years ago we stayed here, and this is where it all started, in this particular property.
And I visit the wildlife wonder under threat from Mother Nature herself. Well, I think we might have split the camp yesterday. Whilst Property 2 came out on top, I think Darren preferred it a lot more than Tracy. So today, we're on the way to the Mystery House, and I think this property plays a lot more to what Tracy said she wanted. Well, it's only fair, isn't it? Now, this property has a garden I think she has pictured in her mind's eye, and it also has a business opportunity they can probably dip their toes into now or full-time sometime in the future. But in order to get all of this, guess what? As it's the Mystery House, there is a compromise. And they'll see this compromise as soon as they step out of the car. For our final property, we're heading back to familiar territory, and specifically the hamlet of South Hewish. The closest amenities are to be found in the village of Marlborough, which has a pub and a post office. But before we get to our Mystery House, we're making a pit stop at a nearby beach called South Milton Sands to take in the view. So, I take it you've probably been to this beach before, have you?
We have. This is what started our journey quite a few years ago when we were looking.
Is it?
Yeah.
Why?
We stayed not too far from here, and we used to come to this beach with our dog and walk him in the morning.
Well, I just thought it would be a glorious beach to come to, isn't it? Because it's dog-friendly.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Water. I mean, a lot of people come here for water sports. There's a wreck that you can dive around and discover here as well.
Oh, great. That's even better.
So it would be good news if I told you you could walk from the mystery property to this beach, then, would it?
Yes.
It's very good news.
Because some of the properties that we looked at around here, we liked very much. So.
Well, this is quite an expensive part of the world.
Yeah.
So to be close to this beach is pretty special. But we are, so let's see if the house, well, pleases hopefully both of you, shall we?
Yeah, great.
Let's go.
Thank you.
At the start of our house hunt yesterday, Tracy mentioned she'd like to run a bed and breakfast, and our mystery house is an up-and-running, well-established B&B. But our buyers also wanted a detached property, and our mystery house, a 300-year-old barn conversion, is essentially terraced, with neighbours either side. Right then, this is our mystery house.
It's not a surprise to us, Johnny.
We've stayed here.
We stayed here.
You joking?
4 years ago we stayed here, and this is where it all started, in this particular property.
When we was down on the beach, when you said a mile away, we thought...
thinking,
Maybe, because...
And then...
Tracy's been excited ever since.
You stayed here as hunters?
We stayed here,
in
in that room there.
Yeah, in that room there.
Well, I can tell you're excited, but, I mean, it's almost putting to one side the fact that you've stayed here. I mean, it's... You know it's attached.
Yes, yeah.
We do.
I do, but I'm really happy about, you know, the way... We just liked it when we were here, weren't we? And that doesn't really bother me at all.
All right, well...
Because we know the land set up and everything around it.
So whilst you said you would never look at anything that was attached,
we
now
did say,
you're
Darren
absolutely
did
fine.
say.
Yeah.
I'm really excited now.
I can't wait to show you. Come on, let's go. Well, that's definitely a first. But despite having already stayed here some 4 years ago, Darren and Tracy only saw 2 rooms in the property, one of which was this impressive entrance dining hall where they had their breakfast. But our first stop is to the left of the hall, the kitchen. So, did you get a chance to look in here? You probably didn't, really, did you?
No,
we didn't.
This is sort of farmhouse kitchen I like.
Well, the owner who you've probably met, this is still quite bizarre for me, but she spent a lot of money.
Yeah, we remember.
on this
We had
place.
quite a conversation about it, didn't
we
we?
did, yeah.
And talking about all the refurbishment and renovations that she'd done, so
Yeah.
we were aware what's gone into it.
Now, Tracy, you seem clearly over the moon with the prospect of this. Darren?
I'm a bit still shocked.
Yeah.
I am shocked, yeah. It's, I don't mind the idea.
Yeah, you're
It's,
worried about the B&B bit.
I'm worried about the B&B
and having
bit.
people in the house. I think that was his... He
in the
likes to
same
have
house,
a separate area.
Right. I've had a thought about maybe rejigging the accommodation slightly so you can have a bit of separation.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's go downstairs to some current letting accommodation, which I think could become yours. All right?
Okay.
At present, the owner's accommodation is situated to the right of the hallway. This includes the bedroom that Darren and Tracy stayed in, a small living room and a bathroom. But my plan is to turn the basement into a larger private living space. A small living room just the left-hand side there.
Okay.
And this, as it stands, is a letting bedroom. Lots of storage here, and then it's huge, as you can see.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. This is great.
And you've got a massive ensuite just to the right.
Okay.
But I was thinking, this is really nice owner's accommodation.
Definitely.
Potentially even this is a living room
Yeah.
with a smaller living room becoming a bedroom, and then you
Yeah.
just sort out the access between
Yeah,
the
that's
two
it.
with the bathroom.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, this looks great.
You can definitely cut it off then, can't you? That's...
Yeah.
Well, you're totally separate from the guests here.
Very
It's a
nice.
great idea, actually.
I think so.
Let's get outside and show you some of the options there.
Yeah.
Okay? As well as the basement bedroom and the room Darren and Tracy stayed in, there are 2 further guest bedrooms on the first floor of the property. Both come with ensuite bathrooms, and that makes 4 bedrooms in total. At full capacity, the B&B business can make £250 a night in peak season. The outside space includes a small fenced-off garden, a larger paddock area with a stable block and garage for Darren's car, and a vegetable plot. But that's not all. So, in a bid to get you as much space as possible, this paddock is also included.
Really?
Yep. This whole property can be self-sufficient. There's a borehole you could use. You've got so much wood for the central heating. And with a south-facing roof, you could even put solar panels on there as well.
Right.
So, how much do you think this mystery house is on the market for?
I'd say 575.
OK. Tracy?
Bearing in mind the first house we had was over our budget, but this has got really everything we want. I'd like to think it was still in that price range. So I'm going to go for about 595.
She's good. It's on the market for offers around £590,000.
Oh, yeah.
Wallet?
Oh, wallet! It could be a lovely, rural, almost seaside home for you two.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to. That's what I want to remind you of.
Yeah.
So why don't you both now go back into the house? Take as much time as you want.
Come on then.
Okay,
Go on,
thank you.
off you pop.
Thanks.
See you later. Bye. On the market at offers around £590,000, our mystery house is £10,000 under budget. It's a 300-year-old barn conversion and a successful bed and breakfast business. It has a large dining entrance hall and a farmhouse-style kitchen. There are 4 bedrooms, 3 of which are currently used for guests. The property comes with 2 acres of land, which includes a large paddock area and an adjoining field.
Oh, this is a nice airy room.
It's not seen none of this, have we?
No,
It's nice
lovely.
ensuite.
It's nice decorated.
Oh, it's very nice. It's got the beams. This is very nice. And I keep saying that, but it is.
When we arrived here, it was such a surprise when we came around the corner. I can't believe that you actually stayed here 4 years ago. And this is where we sort of decided that we wanted to actually live down in the South Hams. If we didn't run it as a B&B, internally the setup is a bit of a challenge, I think. We've got a really nice kitchen diners, which I wanted. But then you need to go downstairs to the living accommodation. So it could be a little bit challenging.
The property is not something we'd usually go for because it's not detached. The actual building, the way it's been built, it's got loads of character. It's got the beams I like, and it's a bed and breakfast which Tracy's wanted to do for years.
So am I looking at the new Basil and Sybil 40?
Yeah.
It will be 40 towers with us.
Well, I hope you enjoyed looking around that as prospective owners. I found us something very nice to go for a bit of a chat.
Lovely.
Just that way.
Thank you.
The South Devon coast is home to some of the best beaches in the country. One of them is Slapton, a 4-mile strip of shingle with the sea on one side and a freshwater lake on the other called Slapton Lee. The Lee is home to some of the rarest flora and fauna in the UK, and its natural beauty is clear to see. But maintaining this fragile habitat hangs in the balance. I've come to the Lee to meet Andy Pratt from the Slapton Field Centre and Nature Reserve to find out why it's under threat. Andy, this is just an amazing picture we've got in front of us. I can't remember seeing a freshwater lake of this size so close to the sea. It must be one of the larger ones, isn't it?
Yeah, well, this is the largest freshwater lake in the southwest. The fact that it's close to the beach as well makes it quite significant.
I understand this is a site of special scientific interest. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. It's designated by Nature England, and they've identified it as one of the key sites in the country because of the variety of wildlife and the sorts of wildlife that are important. Really, there's the range of plants and animals. So there's a particularly rare plant called strapwort.
Right.
And this is the only site in Britain that actually grows.
So, Andy, this nature reserve in its current state may well be changing in the future. It could almost be under threat in its current guise from Mother Nature itself, I understand.
Yeah, our concern is that this stretch of coastline suffers from a significant amount of storms and coastal erosion, particularly during the winter. Our concern is that one day in the future, that the whole shingle ridge will be breached.
If the ridge is breached, then salt water would flow into the Lee, and the plants and animals that have adapted to the freshwater environment will no longer be able to live there. Andy is taking me down to the beach, and it's immediately clear just how delicate this natural barrier is. In 2001, a large storm damaged the road, and it's only a matter of time before it happens again. It's only literally over the road, and fairly busy road, isn't it? We've got, well, the threat of that sea, haven't we?
Yeah, it's hard to believe on days like today, where it's a flat, calm sea, that there'd be any threat at all. But this is an incredibly dynamic beach. This changes dramatically and can change almost overnight. Today, standing here, it's hard to see what the issue would be, but in high winds, in storm conditions, high tides, you see the full force of the ocean. Could any sea defences be put in place at all? This is a 4-mile-long beach, and to have a 4-mile sea wall would be quite a significant feature. What's felt to be more appropriate, more in keeping with the nature reserve, with the geology and the dynamicness of the beach, is to have the small-scale bastions that you can see behind us. And these are basically mounds of shingle that have been put in key strategic places to protect areas that are most at risk.
Experts predict the sea could reach the lake within the next 100 years. So we should enjoy this natural wonder in its present form while we still can. So, after a bit of time to think, I've agreed to meet Darren and Tracy at the beach where, well, it kind of all started, really, to find out what they plan to do next. Well, it seems rather fitting to choose this spot to contemplate your future, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does.
Let's finish where we started, really.
This really does seem like we're closing the circle, doesn't it?
It does.
So what's your favourite house?
The mystery house.
The mystery house, without doubt.
Not such a mystery, but a mystery house.
Yeah.
Well, when you... it's the first time anybody has said to me they've stayed the night in the house that I'm about to show them. But the proof of the pudding is in the eating. You knew what it was like to be a customer there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And that was what started the whole idea of wanting to come down here and perhaps, you know, set up at home and live here permanently.
Can you see yourself making it more of a home for you guys?
I think we can. We've got a lot of thinking to do. The way the setup is at the moment for B&B, we need to see, do we continue in that, or can we make adjustments where we can have it as a B&B and a family home?
Yeah. So, Darren, I'll ask you, what are your thoughts on the Mystery House now, then?
I'm quite excited.
So it's better for you, Darren, than the second house we looked at yesterday afternoon?
It is, really, because it's everything for Tracy. So, you know, if Tracy's happy, I think my life's going to be
Well, you know,
a lot easier.
That's a man that's been successfully married
for
for a while,
25
isn't it?
years.
You've got the land 15 minutes walk in a footpath to come down here, and it just seems so perfect at the moment. I'm sure there's going to be a catch, but...
Well, it's great for our friends, you know. Like the lady does at the moment, she closes it down for a while.
And has friends.
Just bring all your friends down.
So, second viewing, how soon?
Well, we'll have a talk to them, won't we? We've got to go back, unfortunately, within the next couple of days. We'll see if we can get back as soon as possible and turn something around.
Brilliant news. Well, look, I wish you both the very best of luck. It's exciting.
It's been
It's
enjoyable.
very exciting, yeah.
And, you know, apparently there's swell down here, so when I'm next coming down here for some surfing, I know where to stay, won't I?
Definitely.
Discounts I'm looking for.
Film rate.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're still going to charge me? Thanks a lot. Good luck, and let us know what you do, won't you?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I think that's fair to say that's a bit of a one-off. Sure, it was an educated guest bringing them to an area we knew they liked, but showing them a property that was the catalyst behind their big idea to move down here to Devon, well, that was a bit of a fluke. But I think it's the business element that's really inspired them. They can now see what it might be like to not only live down here, but perhaps work down here, both of them full-time, maybe sooner rather than later. So hopefully their second viewing goes according to plan, and then they'll make their very exciting move down here to the stunning Devon coastline. See you next time. Darren and Tracy returned to the mystery house and put in an offer. They're currently in negotiations with the owner, and we're keeping our fingers crossed. If you'd like to escape to the country in England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, or even further afield to the continent and need our help, then please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be-on-a-ship. This Sherman tank was raised from the seabed of the county I'm in and stands in memory of a Second World War training exercise that ended in disaster. Find out what happened and where I am in just a few moments. On today's show, we're helping a couple of lifelong suburbanites up sticks to the country. At one property, it's all about the view.
You wouldn't want to watch TV, would you?
No.
And there's a big surprise at another.
We've stayed here.
You stayed here.
You joking? Today I'm in South Devon, and this is Slapton Sands, which was used by the Allied forces to rehearse for the D-Day landings on the Normandy beaches. Codenamed Exercise Tiger, this top-secret rehearsal ended in tragedy when a US convoy was torpedoed by German E-boats, and the death toll amounted to over 900 servicemen. Today, their memory is preserved here, as is this area, as it's also home to a national nature reserve. And I'll be finding out more about this unique coastline later on in the show. But first, let's take a look at some of Devon's other natural highlights. Desirability is reflected in just how much it costs to buy a home here, with the average price for a detached house in the county coming in at around £288,000, some £30,000 above the national figure. Now, the South Hams district is the most expensive in the county. In seaside towns like Salcombe and Dartmouth, you can expect to pay almost double the national figure for a property. But if you head west towards Plymouth or inland towards Dartmoor, you'll be rewarded by getting much more property for your budget. So, what's attracting today's buyers to Devon? Let's meet them and find out. Darren and Tracy have been married for 25 years, and for the last decade they've lived in Farnham Common in Buckinghamshire, just outside London's M25. But with their grown-up children about to leave home, it's time to make the break. We have enjoyed living here. The community is really nice. We've a good set of friends and we're local to the shops, but it's becoming more compact with traffic. Despite the changes in the neighbourhood, they still have fond memories of the area.
Met in a disco called Regals in Uxbridge.
Which was a main nightclub on a Thursday night. It was girls' night. But then I sort of had a break and went travelling for a bit and then came back and we sort of hooked up again, didn't we? And then,
at Regals again?
Yes. And then decided to get married.
4 years ago, they holidayed in South Devon, and it was love at first sight.
We just like everything about it. It's the pubs, it's the open fields, the woods. It's because we got a dog, we like walking, and the idea would be to get another dog.
Just having some space, really, around you without too many neighbours would be really nice.
Darren runs a glazing company and Tracy is a product development manager, a job she can do from home. But after the move, work will take more of a back seat.
Built the construction company up I've got. It can operate without me being there full time.
I think the move's going to make us a bit more, or you more relaxed. The last couple of years for your work has been quite stressful, and it would just sort of give you the opportunity, won't it, to pursue some areas that you've been looking to do for quite a few years.
Yeah, it's enjoy life really, you know. Work to live, not live to work really. There's that saying, isn't there?
And with more time on his hands, keen biker Darren will be able to enjoy everything coastal Devon has to offer.
The move down there would get me more into the sports I love, which is scuba diving. And I know walking's not so much a sport, but you know, walking, it's everything there really is just for me, and I really would like to get into sailing.
And when it's not sailing the seas, Darren will be hitting Devon's roads with his